Welcome to Diamond.Standard.Gaming. And if you heard that rooster crowing, that means it's time to wake up and start building. So today, we're going to go ahead on the edge of this cliff. We're going to build a castle, or at least start building a castle. We're going to go ahead and we're going to build right along this cliff a little ways and get down to here. It'll be at the other end of the castle. And then what we'll have is on this side, this is going to be the front of the castle over here, and we will eventually build some stairs and stuff to get up to the top of the castle, to get into the castle. So I'm going to start over here, and let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. I just kind of picked 13 blocks randomly, and I go ahead out this way 13 blocks as well. And you can see here it's kind of a little bit too far, so what I end up doing 12 11 10 9, so I end up making it 9 blocks. So what I do is I make a 9 by 9 block square on the ground just to lay out the base of the first tower that we're going to build. Now this video is going to be a multi-part video just because this is a really big build and it's going to take us quite a while. So we have our 9 by 9 square right there, which is the base of our tower. And then what I will do right here is I kind of finish it off of the screen. I end up making it about high, and I plan to have about 4 stories inside of this tower. So the next part of the build is going to be, I guess it's what you would call the roof of the tower. And it's going to be flat, of course, but it's going to stick out or overhang about 2 blocks off the end of the tower. So this top square roof part of the tower is going to really be 13 by 13, where the vertical part of the tower is 9 by 9. And you can see right there, now that we got our roof in place, it's starting to come together. It's starting to look like something. And then here I picked a diorite block. You know, it kind of still had the whitish color to it, but it had a different texture. Just trying to break up the solid white color of the concrete that we've already used. That was white concrete that we used for the tower. And here I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do. So what I'm trying out is I use the diorite wall first, and I'm using that as the kind of around the perimeter of the top of the tower. And then what I do is every other section of the wall I build too high, just to give it a section, just to give it a nice look there. And that's kind of how it looks. But I wasn't sure if that's what I wanted to stick with or not. So in a second here, you'll see I will grab a regular diorite block, and I build kind of the same pattern on the other side of the tower here. So I build it 1 high all the way across, and then every other block I build up 2 high. And then that's how that looks right there. So I do end up going with the standard block and not the wall block for the top of the tower here. The good thing about the wall is that you can't really jump over it because it's a wall and you can't jump on top of it. That's the plus side of the wall. But I kind of like just the thickness of the standard blocks. I think because it's a large tower, it just looks a little bit nicer. Maybe if it was a little bit smaller tower, the regular diorite wall would work okay. And this is just looking at it from a distance right here. Alright, then I go ahead around the entire perimeter and put the blocks up. And you can see on the corners here what I did is I kind of made a little L shape, and then I continued the the pattern, one down, one up, one down, one up, all the way around the tower. Then what I do with the stairs, I go ahead and I use the diorite stairs, and I'm putting them upside down underneath the overhang here. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I wasn't sure if I was just going to go around the perimeter with the stairs, or if I was going to kind of build out like a support, kind of like this, along the middles and along the edges. In the end, I did decide to go with the stairs just completely around the perimeter of the top of the tower. And this just gives it a nice transition. It looks like it doesn't stick out quite as much, and it kind of gives it like the look of something supporting that overhang. So I think it does give it a really nice look. So you can see how that's looking right there. And I do like the diorite white concrete mix. I think it goes together nice. It's a nice bright color. But it does break up the contrast of all white concrete. And then what I'm doing here is I'm going to go inside, and I'm going to go ahead and start putting some windows into this tower. So you can see in my inventory I did grab a gold block. And with that gold block, I'm going to outline each of the windows that I put in with the gold blocks. And I wasn't sure at first what I wanted to do. I didn't know if I just wanted to make each of the windows too high, so that's kind of what I started at right here. And then here I'm just trying to see how it looks as a 3 tall window. So what I ended up doing is I actually, on the first floor, I make the windows 3 tall, and then on the floors, stories 2 and 3, the windows are 2 tall each, and then up on the 4th floor, I guess the 4th floor is what it would be. I actually make the window just a single block wide, or a single block tall. And I thought the white concrete and the gold would kind of go together good. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you think I should change it, I could always change it up in a future build. This castle build will probably take at least a couple of different videos. This was the first video. It actually took me close to an hour to get done what I get done in this build, and I was able to really knock it down to probably close to 15 minutes, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take out all the parts where I'm just repetitively piling blocks higher. So I'm trying to show each step that I do as I go. So I put the perimeter down, and then I off video go ahead and build the tower up 20 high, and then I come back and I put the roof on, and then I kind of go off video and fill in the entire roof, and then I come back and show you the completed thing. So let me know what you think of that style of a video. Here it is, the finished tower right here. So like I said, the first floor window is 3 high, then the next 2 are 2 tall each, and the top one is just a single block tall and wide. And these blocks in here, you know, some of these will become the floor, but it was just, as I was putting the windows in, just spacing to get everything lined up correctly. And in this castle, I do want to incorporate, you know, square towers and some round towers as well, just to really break up the look of it and everything. Then the next step I'm going to do here, I'm going to build a wall coming out off of this side right here of the building, and kind of going over to here somewhere. I think I make it 19 long. 1, 2, let's see. And it took a little bit of experimenting. I don't show you here. I wasn't sure if I was going to make this wall part, you know, 2 stories high or 1.5 stories high. So I did spend a little time, and I built it up and then took some off and then took some more off. And in the end, I decided to stick with just a single story tall. You can see that white, you know, the white block between the 2 windows. That's kind of the level of the floor inside of the tower. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 blocks to there. I go out 15. I think I might go out a little bit more actually when I finally build the wall. I don't want it to be too close, because when I go build the next tower, I don't want the tower to be, you know, right on top of this one. I want there to be enough space, and I also want the inside courtyard to be big enough. So I think I said 15. I think I end up making it 19 between this one and the next tower. So right here I went and I finished laying out the outside perimeter of that wall section right there. Now it's going to be a little tricky because it does have like all the bends in it and stuff. It's not just a straight wall. In Minecraft, it's really easy to build if you're building on, you know, an exact straight line. It's very easy, but when you start getting into all the jagged edges and stuff, it does get a little bit tricky. Yeah, here's where I said I added a little bit to the wall. So I think the wall is actually 19 long from the tower. And then here too, there was kind of a lot of experimentation. I didn't know how big I was going to make the wall or how thick I was going to make the wall. I decided to, I did know that I wanted to make it so that you can walk on top of the wall, and I also wanted to be able to walk inside most of the wall. So really it has to be at least 4 wide to do that, because if you put like a wall or something on each side of it so you don't fall off, you'll need at least 4 blocks wide. And I think I end up making it 5 blocks wide in most of the places, just because it is very jagged. And where some of the turns were, the back wall actually kind of met very closely with the front, and you weren't able to actually get through that space. So here I put an overhang on the front of the wall, just like I did with the top of the tower. And I go ahead and put those upside down stairs there as well to give it a, you know, more structure or sturdier look. So the wall is not just hanging out there. Then here's where I finished up the wall. For the most part, you can see right here is where it kind of got narrow, and I had to actually make it a little bit bigger in some of these spots. I think that's actually 6 wide at that spot right there. And then here I go ahead and I'm finishing out the rest of the interior part of the wall. Yeah, right there is where it was too narrow and I couldn't actually fit through that space. So I had to put this little extra kind of bump out here in the wall, or on the roof of the wall, I guess you can call it. Now you can actually walk all the way through there. And then eventually I'll turn these windows here that come out on the wall, I'll turn them into doors so that you can actually get out and run around the entire castle. And here I'm working on the interior of the wall. I guess before I said the interior of the wall, and I meant the the wall that was facing the inside of the castle or the inside of the courtyard. Where here I'm actually working on the little section inside the wall where you can walk. And again, because the wall is really jagged, it was tough to, stay inside the wall the entire time. So what ended up happening is I kind of created a little door there to come out to the courtyard, and then you can go back into the wall right here. Yeah, the wall is like I said, 5 wide for the most part on the top, but there's an overhang on the front, so really the solid part of the wall is only 3 wide. Is only, 4 wide for the most part. And then when you have the 2 jagged edges that meet up like that, you just can't, you can't, it seems like you can't stay in the wall the entire time. Alright, and this here is what we have so far for our build. So you can see it's kind of built right into the mountainside. And you can walk around on top of the roof here and on top of the wall. That's a long fall right there. You don't want to fall off. Good thing we got the wall up there. Here I was just kind of counting how wide it was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in that spot. That spot right there is where I had to put that little bump out, because if it wasn't, I couldn't fit through there. And this little part of the wall right here, you see it sticks out there kind of oddly right there. I'll leave it like that for now until we go ahead and add the next tower, and then that'll probably either get deleted or kind of fit right up next to the tower, so it won't look so strange when it's all said and done. So this gives you a really good first idea, I guess, of a concept of how this castle is going to look. And you can imagine if it goes all the way down to right about here, how big that's going to be. And then probably some of this area in here I'll have to fill in with dirt because it's too low. And then I'll somehow come back around and connect up with here. I'll probably have at least 6 towers in this castle. And like I said, I do want to make one at least round, so it gives it kind of a neat look. And this is just from a distance, so it is pretty impressive on top of that mountain there. It's a pretty impressive looking castle, and I think it'll be really neat in the mountain down below. We can actually build dungeons once we get that far along with this castle build. Alright, but that pretty much finishes up our builds for today. Please let me know in the comments what you think and if you'd like to see anything done differently. I always love to hear from our viewers, and until next time, have a great day.